Good morning, pilgrims. Welcome to day 22.
Silent films.
Good morning.
We're having coffee.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias. Ahora sí. ¿Quieres caminar?
Adiós. Gracias.
Out into the real world. 9:24.
But the sun just barely came up.
Yep. This is our Nero day. Coffee break time. Here it comes. So we were passing through the town of Elito, where we just had our Lovensies coffee. But it's well known for the gardens and the palace here. There's a family called the Selgas, which were the bigwigs, and they donated the palace and another building, which is a museum now. Their palace was built in the style of the Italian Renaissance, and it's kind of famous for its beautiful gardens, which we can peek through the gates and see. There's some very, pretty gardens and nice statuary in there. And actually, the Palace Museum houses some paintings by El Greco and Goya. We'll have to come back and visit.
Hey Brian, hey Dina. Thanks for joining us.
did you find that little guy?
Well, my foot was actually about to came very close to him. And when we're going down rocky slopes like this, I'm looking very closely at the ground so I don't stumble. So, you go
Like
right
I should be
there.
doing now?
Yeah, exactly. You should not be filming me going down this. Yeah, that was really fun.
Yeah.
It'll be fun finding out what he's. We think he's an F, so what he's.
Yeah, I'm guessing he's the F stage of some
Juvenile.
sort of newt or salamander,
Yeah,
the terrestrial stage of life.
yeah. Look what I caught. Local ponds.
With your food.
We just started our 4th week. This is stage 22 today. Now, I started this morning by talking about that we were taking a Nero today, and I know for longtime campfire confidants, you know exactly what that means. But for everybody else, I'm going to just explain that in the hiking world, when you are on a through hike and you take a day where you take 0 miles on the trail, it's called a zero. So you're taking a zero. It means you're going to sleep in the same place 2 nights in a row. You're probably going to get 5 hot meals, and it's a real day of rest. But what we found on our Camino last time was that a zero was great for about half the day. And then there was a little bit of dead space, and it just wasn't the best use of our time. So the other term is Nero, and it means a near zero. For us, that's 10 miles. And so today we took a near zero, which means we only walked for about half of the time we normally walk. And that gives us part of the day to take care of laundry and charging things and checking, keeping up with the social media or with real events in our lives. So today we took a Nero. It was 10 miles. And it's restful because for the cost of 1 zero, we can get 2 Neros. So we took a Nero today. And how did we do that?
Well, we walked from Muros de Nalón to Soto de Luiña today.
And how far was that?
So Camino miles is about just a little bit more than 10. We took a detour and walked to the beach and had a wonderful long lunch. So Strava miles was about 12 miles. And our elevation gain was about 1,600, so they packed a lot of hills in those few miles. Yeah, but it got our calorie count up, so it was another good day and a couple of great meals.
But the beach walk was a special treat.
Yeah,
It was a fairly steep divert off of the Camino, and the surprise at the bottom after walking along this wonderful beach and seeing a couple of other pilgrims down on the beach was that we found a restaurant that was open for lunch just as we arrived. So we were able to sit down and have a nice long lunch.
Yeah.
And that's kind of part of the beauty of doing a Nero is you can pick and choose when you stop and rest. And we took a nice long rest before we headed up the hill to Soto de Luiña.
The other fun thing about that beach was it wasn't a sand beach. It was a rock beach, and when the waves would come up and wash back, the sound of the rocks tumbling
Tumbling, yeah.
was
That's interesting.
really neat.
So the other big deal today was the fauna.
Yeah, we came across a fire salamander, which that's what we know it is now. We did not know at the time. This one was about 6 inches, I'd say.
Yeah, so we think it's a young
I
one.
think a young, they can get up to a foot long. And they call them fire salamanders because in ancient times they like to live under logs and things like that. People would be getting logs, collecting wood for their fires, and they would come out. So they thought that's where they were coming from. They're interesting though. They're the only salamander that gives birth to live birth, basically. They don't without eggs.
Also really cool, they have these holes behind their eyes where they can squirt out poison.
Yeah.
So
Their coloration is a warning to other animals that they are dangerous, just like bees and wasps have that same coloration. And in this case, yeah, they squirt poison.
yeah, you don't want to pick one up, you don't want to touch them.
Yeah.
But this guy was cool. He was, he posed for us and
Yeah.
didn't get too close, and we didn't get poison squirted at us or fire-breathing dragon, but it was very cool.
Yeah.
So it's a day, good weather, nice vistas, and easy mileage. So a very good day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
And at the end of the day, we met Pepe, sort of a local legend in the pilgrim world. He was a volunteer at the albergue here for 18 years, he was telling us. And he spent some time marking the trail and painting the yellow arrows.
And when you arrived at the bar, even though he was closing, because he was he knew we were pilgrims, he made sure that we got served.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
special.
so kind.
And then he brought us out a little arrow to wear on our hats or our packs. So
Yeah.
it's the people that we've
Yeah.
met that makes the Camino so special.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Buen
Buen
Camino.
Camino.